When it comes time to buy your next car, truck, or SUV, there's only one place to go. Johnson Motors. You're sure to find just what you want at a price that'll surprise you. Check out the new Buick and GMC.
I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's kind of breaking up a little.
We can't tell from here, Marty.
be which team turns over the ball less. So right now, Bradford's on the negative side of that.
That's right. We've got a double slot now to the far side and the near side. John Wood is back there at quarterback. We've got jet motion, and John Wood's going to keep his gut running room as he crosses 50, still on his feet, down to almost the 45-yard line, and they're going to mark it at the 46-yard line of Bradford.
Yeah, John Wood did a good job running his feet. He looked like he got stopped right around the 48-yard line. He ended up breaking a tackle and finally get taken down by one of the Owls at the 46.
Okay, and John Wood back there, quarterback again. We still have that double slot formation. To the near side, it is the split is, I believe, Glassell. And in the slot is Connor Ford. And Ford is in jet motion right now, and he will get the handoff and will be hit, but he'll slide that tackle. He's got a first down, so our first advanced disposal first down, and Connor Ford will bring it down to the about the 39-yard line of Bradford. So right now the running game working for the Brockway Rovers.
Yeah, it looks like the offensive line and some of the blockers are getting some very good holes to get through. Connor Ford did actually a good job. He got hit in the backfield but was able to break the tackle and eventually start moving forward to get a first down for us tonight.
Okay, back to that double slot formation again. John Wood is at quarterback. Back there with him is number 43. That's Nick Porin. It is a first down and 10 from the 39-yard line of Bradford. And John, get that throw out pass to Glassell. He takes a knee right there at the 40, so they'll lose about a yard on that play. As Glassell had to come back for the ball and put his knee down on the ground, so it'll be down right there. They'll bring up a second down and about 10 and a half.
Yeah, that was it looked like that pass was a little bit behind Glassell. I don't think he really had his foot in, and the refs didn't blow it right away, but Glassell did have his knee down right away. So.
And remember that John Wood is not the quintessential quarterback either, and that's a hard pass to throw to get that pitch and then immediately get in a passing position and get that ball out there. Okay, so a second down now from the 40-yard line of Bradford. The Rovers are working with it, and jet motion. That is Connor Ford. And Wood is going to keep it, and he's inside the 35, down inside the 30. He's got the sideline over there. He may go all the way, still on his feet, and pushed out of bounds way down there. Let's see where they're going to mark it. But another advanced disposal first down as John Wood was able to take that ball himself and found an opening, a very good opening at the line of scrimmage. You're going to mark that ball somewhere around the 10-yard line, maybe inside that. Let's wait and see. Right at the 10-yard line. So first down and 10, and actually first down and goal because he's inside the 10-yard line.
That's a really good start. I think he showed really good vision there because one of his blockers set the edge. Instead of going inside, he jumped outside to get that huge gain.
Okay, same formation right now. Nope, they've got trips to this side this time. And John Wood has again, going to keep it himself, and he's got very little running room there as he will probably make one or two out of that, and that'll bring up a second down and goal from somewhere around the 7-yard line. See where they mark it.
Yeah, that was the first run tonight where he actually got hit before he made it to the line of scrimmage, but he did a good job pushing his legs forward and not giving up and gained 2 yards for us.
Okay, so a second down ball is at the 7-yard line. John Wood getting the play from the sideline. Back there this time with him is number 27. That's Seth Stewart. He is the freshman. John Wood calling the signals. The freshman Stewart to his left in motion. Jet motion. John Wood will keep it, and he will score from the 7-yard line. Is John Wood on a quarterback keeper with 9:02 remaining in the first period. So Brockway Rovers off that turnover will strike first, make it 6-0 here.
I would have to say that's probably one of their quicker drives of the year. I have that drive down to a little bit less than 2 minutes, so it's really good to see that they can attack this Bradford defense and push the ball downfield.
Okay, Painter in for the extra point attempt right now, so let's see how he does. Good set, the ball is up, and it looks good, and it is. And so with 9:02 remaining in the first period, is Brockway 7, the Owls from Bradford nothing, and we'll be back with the Brockway kickoff right after these messages. You're listening to Sunny 106, your home for Rover football.
On the playing field, it's a battle, but the things the Brockway Rovers know are excellence, teamwork, and responsibility. The folks at Phoenix Sintered Metals knows about those too, and are proud to sponsor Brockway Rovers football. Phoenix Sintered Metals is a Verichetti family-owned powdered metals manufacturer committed to being an industry leader through excellence, innovation, and continuous improvement. Phoenix emphasizes employee teamwork and responsibility to the community. Hard work and perseverance do pay off. Go Brockway Rovers.
Hi, this is Mike at DeLulo Transport. Due to our continued growth, DeLulo Transport has immediate openings for multiple positions, including non-CDL package delivery drivers, driver helpers, owner-operators, and diesel mechanics. DeLulo Transport is a local family-owned business dedicated to our area and to providing reliable, dedicated transportation services to our customers. We were named 2018 Small Business of the Year and voted Best Trucking and Hauling in the Tri-County area. If you're interested in joining our team, give us a call at 814-503-4131, stop by the office at 349 DuBois Street, or find us at delulotransport.com.
The home of Brockway Rovers football is Sunny 106.
Okay, we're back. The kickoff by Brockway is taken by Nuzzo down there around the 15-yard line. He'll bring it all the way across midfield, all the way down inside the midfield mark to about the 45-yard line of Brockway. Going to mark it right at the 45-yard line. So you had another good return by the Owls from Bradford.
Now, you talked at the beginning of the game that this is probably one of the kids from Bradford that we need to watch, and he just showed us right there with his return game. Remember last week we got hurt by Ridgeway's return game, so hopefully they can limit those big plays.
Okay, so we have a wing on this side this time from Bradford. We have motion and a handoff to the tailback. That is number 46, and that's Gonzalez, Nolan Gonzalez. He is a sophomore.
The Rovers defense did a good job penetrating the offensive line and actually bringing them down for looks like about a 1-yard loss.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that's a pretty big sophomore at 205 pounds.
I was thinking, I thought he was going to be an offensive lineman at first, and when he was in the backfield, I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, so he's back there at the fullback position. He's wearing number 46 tonight. We have a wide out to the far side. That's actually number 3. That's Nuzzo. He is the split end. Hannon is the quarterback, number 11. In motion is number 28. That's Sunafrank. And Sunafrank will get the ball, and he'll be tackled for a loss at the 50-yard line, but there is a flag on the play, and where that went in, that's probably a hold against Bradford.
Now that'll be good for us. I'll push Bradford back even farther, put them even now past midfield, possibly give Rovers better field position if they can force them to go 3 and out.
Okay, so they are at the 50-yard line. They might decline this penalty, though. They're at the 50-yard line, loss on the play. It's going to make it second or third down, rather, and perhaps around 15, so they may decline this. Let's see.
I think it looks like they accept that he's already walking back.
Yeah, they walked it off now, so it's back there at the 41-yard line now in Bradford territory. You're just joining us with 8 minutes remaining here in the first period. It is Brockway 7 and Bradford 0. Bradford with their second offensive series as they turned the ball over in their first series, which allowed the Brockway Rovers to score. So we've got a slot to each side this time. Hannon is our quarterback. Gonzalez is the fullback. So we have a little I formation from the shotgun for Bradford right now on this second down. And let's say a long way to go here on a second down. I mean, they have 11 to go on the clock up there, but it's a long way. Okay, there's a throw.
Oh, good one, John Wood.
John Wood would tip that ball away as they tried to throw that little screen out here to the near side, and it's tipped away. John Wood smelled that one out from the very beginning.
He did a good job jumping that pass. I saw that right away. I thought he was going to be able to pick it off, but he did a good job just deflecting the ball and making sure nobody caught it.
Well, had John been a little bit taller, he probably would have picked that. Off.
We're sorry, but he knows he's short.
Yeah, he knows he's short, but he does the very best he can with what he has to work with. I'll tell you that. Okay, looks like trips this time to the near side, split to the far side. I formation again in the backfield from the shotgun. That's Hannon. We'll get the call here on this third down and very long. There's a throw pass here. Number 28 will get it. Will be tackled out of bounds there at about the 46-yard line. And that is Sunafrank who gets the catch. So it's going to be a punting situation now. So it's a fourth down and let's put it a long way to go for a first down. So Bradford will punt it away from their own 46-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like it was a good thing that Brockway did accept that holding call earlier because that actually pushed them back farther than where Bradford would have been on that loss. hopefully we can get a return here, see if we can, John Wood can get a big return for us, kind of like what Nuzo is doing for Bradford.
Okay, he doesn't need much room. John Wood standing back there to about his own 28-yard line. Kick is going to come from somewhere around the 37-yard line from Bradford. They're kicking from our right to our left. And he will get the kickoff, not very long. It's going to bounce around. It's going to 7-yard line and go out of bounds. And so Brockway will have it for their second possession of the game at 7:36 here in the first period. Is Brockway 7 and Bradford nothing on this homecoming night on a beautiful evening from beautiful downtown Brockway at Frank Barichetti Field.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the turnout here. It looks like off to our right, the student section's actually pretty full. Love seeing that, especially when I was a kid. That was the place to be. Everybody was just screaming and cheering on for our home team. So I'm happy to see that tonight.
And if you're an old person, that's a place you don't want to be. You want to be as far away from there as you can. Okay, here we go. First down and 10. We've got jet motion, and that is Smith. As he's back from his injury last week and still on his feet, will cross the 40-yard line, and he's out to about the 41-yard line, and so that'll bring up a second down about 4 or 5 for the Rovers.
Ben Glassell did a good job blocking the cornerback for Bradford, giving Smith a little bit more room on the outside. I think Smith looks like he got 6 or 7 yards on that run. Good. We're getting some good yards here on our runs tonight, so maybe the passing game isn't something. Maybe I was wrong. I mean, I'm not the football expert here, obviously, but the running game's doing a beautiful job tonight.
Yep. Well, we assume that might be the case here tonight. That would be the run game, and of course, Bradford's playing for the run game. They have got about 8 guys here in the box right now. As John Wood will get the snap and the handoff to Connor Ford, looking for some running room, and he will get outside the 45 to about the 47-yard line, and that is an advanced disposal, first down for the Brockway Rovers.
Yeah, they're just and I want to give credit to the offensive line right away. They're doing a good job of attacking that front 8 that Bradford's having right there and pushing them back, because it seems like in the past kind of couple of weeks the defensive line has been penetrating our offensive line really quickly. So I'm glad to see that our offensive line is pushing forward first.
Well, Jake Heigl is the offensive line coach, and he said it was a good week of practice, and they are improving. And so we look for that from young players. John Wood back there going to get caught back there for a loss, and so he's going to be behind the sticks. It's going to be a second down and about 12 now for the Rovers.
He's very elusive as a quarterback. He dodged 2 Bradford Owls before he was actually finally taken down.
And that's one of those plays where the offensive coordinator from Brockway is saying, well, maybe we won't call that one again anytime soon. So it's nothing fancy on the part of Brockway. They're just kind of running the ball right at them, and I think that's the name of the game tonight for the Rovers.
Yeah, maybe they saw something in the tape that we didn't, and that's exactly why they're keeping with this game plan.
Well, they got 7 in the box this time. Has the high snap to John Wood, but he gets the pass out there, and that is to Snyder, I believe. And
that's Braden Smith.
Or Smith, rather, not Snyder, Smith. And he is inside the 40-yard line, and that will be another advanced disposal, first down. Unless there's a flag on the play, and I think there is. I can't see it, but the officials are getting together, and looks like Brockway's walking back. So cancel out that first down, and a nice play there. A nice play by Smith. Of course, he had that hamstring injury last week. There is no injury report this week, so that's a good thing for the Rovers because they only have 19 dressed tonight. And so there's a walk-off. I think we had a hold in that play, so it's inside or just outside the 40-yard line now. Almost to the 45, but the 44. So from the 44-yard line now, so it brings them a second down and just about 15 yards to go now for a first down for the Rovers. We have trips to the near side this time, one split to the far side. That handoff is going to be to Connor Ford in the backfield as he was back there. John Wood is across the 50-yard line, and we have another flag on the play, and I think we have a perhaps block in the back by Glassell, I think.
Well, you know how I talked earlier about how Glassell made that good block on the cornerback? It was the same kind of thing. I was surprised that they didn't call it there, but that one, I was watching the ref the whole time to see if he threw it, and I saw him reach, and I'm like, here comes the flag.
Well, I think Ben has to take every advantage he can. I mean, he's not a very big guy, but I'll tell you what, he is a competitor.
That's for sure. And I think he was trying to do a good job because he stood behind the Bradford Owl. Instead of blocking them, he kind of just stood there. But I think when he finally put his hands on there, that's where the ref finally realized that's a block in the back. That's going to push them back pretty far, too.
Yep, that's going to be a long one. So they're going to be back just about at the 35-yard line. just the nose of the football touching the 35-yard line. So second down, one of those calls where you say second down and forever right now.
2nd and 23 according to their scoreboard.
Okay, that's pretty close. Okay, double to the far side. This time a single to this side. And just a little pass attempt to Connor Ford, but fell short there. John was retreating with pressure and just threw it just a little bit short there. But that play looked pretty good had he been able to get the ball to Connor Ford.
Yeah,
it was open.
I was going to say that because if Ford would have had that, he had 3 offensive linemen right there, and I think only 1 Bradford Owl. So that could have been a promising play if we could have got that ball caught.
Execution, execution, execution. You can call the best play in the world, have the best timing for it and so forth, but if it's not executed, it could be big trouble. Okay, this time we have trips to the far side, 1 split on their side. That's Connor. No, let's see. I can't see that number.
Peyton Maurer, the one that was in motion.
Yep, looks like 13. Okay, John Wood back to pass, getting rushed back there. He's going to run. He's got lots of room as he's across midfield, still on his feet. He could go inside the 20-yard line. 10, 5, and John Wood for the touchdown.
And there's no flags.
No flags. So from the 35-yard line.
65-yard run. He did a beautiful job bobbing and weaving, if you want to call it, right through the Bradford defense. He got a couple good blocks from some of his linemen. Did a good job just outlining. He only had 1 guy to beat, and he burst right past him.
Okay, John Wood, 4:58 remaining in the first quarter. It's now 13 to nothing in favor of the Brockway Rovers on this their homecoming night.
That was actually another pretty quick drive. I think that's about 2.5 minutes.
Well, you consider all the setbacks too.
Yeah.
The kick by Painter is good to make it 14-0 with 4:58 remaining here in the first period. Brockway in the lead. And we'll be back with a Brockway kickoff right after these messages. You're listening to Sunny 106, your home for Rover football.
Superior Energy Resources in Brockway is a Verichetti family business that supports and services the shell and conventional oil and gas industries. Superior supplies rig mats, gas field services, hot shot services, tanks, fabrication, hoses and fittings, as well as machinery and equipment for the construction, mining, and oil field industries. Call 814-265-1080 or email sales@serllc.co. Superior Energy Resources, solutions to help you move forward.
You know what that is? That's the sound of a happy client of Swift Kennedy Insurance because their business is covered. Swift Kennedy staff has over 100 years of experience in commercial property and casualty insurance, plus 15 carriers available, so they can get you the best coverage. They take a risk management approach by evaluating exposures and designing a program just for you, so you can rest easy. Swift Kennedy Insurance Company, Meadow Lane, Du Bois, Swift Kennedy, and CO.com. Relax, you're covered by Swift Kennedy.
The home of Brockway Rovers football is Sunny 106.
Almost recovered it because the Owls did bobble it before they finally recovered it, but I think in the end Bradford did come down with the ball.
Well, when you look at the offensive and defensive lines of these two teams, Brockway definitely has a size advantage, a considerable size advantage on the offensive and defensive lines.
Yeah, if you think about it, a lot of our kids are about 250, 275, and I think the biggest kid that I'm seeing from Bradford is around 220, so we definitely do have that size advantage against them. And that's crazy to think because Bradford's usually one of those bigger schools that can produce some of those bigger kids as well.
Okay, we have trips to the near side now for Bradford. Again, they're moving from our right to our left, from the creek to the park. Hannon back there, quarterback, and he has it right now, looking to pitch it off there to the big sophomore, to Gonzalez, and that looked pretty bad from the very onset.
Yeah, I wouldn't know, but he looked like he was nervous to actually pitch that ball, and from my standpoint, it looked like he looked away and then pitched it, so maybe it's not something he's comfortable with, I think.
I would suggest, that's a good point, because I would suggest that's probably something they may have brought together for this game, because it does not look like they have good execution on that as of yet. Okay, that brings up a second down and long now, second down at about 15. Ball resting at about the 30-yard line. We get motion now, and the ball is in the hands of number 20, trying to get around that
20. I think that's Suna Frank.
That Sidefac is 28. It looked like a 2-0 Max, which would be a new guy in the game. And that'd be Shenfield if it is number 20, or is it 28? If it's 28, then you're right, it's Sidefac.
This makes me think of the Brookville game when we had a hard time looking at the numbers. Some of it's a hard time to tell. So we'll try our best, try to figure out who the numbers are and let you know who actually gets the ball for Bradford.
Okay, that's going to bring up now a third down at about 9 for Bradford. Ball resting about the 35-yard line. Handoff, fake handoff to Gonzalez.
Oh, another fumble.
Ball's on the ground again, and let's see who has it. As
a lot of Rovers are pointing, and the referee is pointing, and it's actually a Rover ball at the.
Okay, another fumble recovery on the part of the Rovers. Ball's going to be spotted at the 40-yard line of Bradford. It's another big break for the Rovers, and so far, kind of a game of turnovers. This is the second one that the Rovers have been able to take away from Bradford. So they will have a first down now from the Bradford 40-yard line. So good field position. They've had good field position throughout tonight. At 3:26 remaining in this one from Brockway, it's Brockway 14 and Bradford 0. And somebody told me, Max, before the game that Bradford has not scored yet this year.
At all?
At all. That's what I heard. And
wow.
The scores that I saw, I didn't see where they have scored. So they've had a difficult time of it. Connor Ford with a hard drive into the line. He will cross the 40-yard line and be marked down there about the 37-yard line. So he'll pick up a couple.
Now, I knew they got shut out by a couple teams, but I didn't know they got shut out the whole year. I find that hard to believe.
I do too, because normally you know JVs get in and you get a chance to do a little something, but it's possible, certainly possible. So maybe we can find out at halftime whether that is
actually true or not.
Yeah, whether that's fake news or not. Okay, second down and 8 for the Rovers from about the 37-yard line of Bradford. John Wood on the carry off the left side. He's got running room out there, and he's got the sideline across the 30, inside the 20, and out of bounds down there somewhere around the inside the 20-yard line to about the 17. Another advance disposal first down, and so John Wood, I thought maybe John Wood might have his way tonight against this defense.
Yeah, he definitely is. He is showing really good what's the word? Ball carrying vision. I can't think of the right word, but he's doing a good job juking past Bradford defenders, and when he needs to go to the outside, he does a good job getting to the outside and bursting forward.
Yeah, one of the advantage of his size is he's very quick laterally, and that has helped him tonight. Okay, first down from the 17, looks like a 17-yard line for the Rovers. Wood with a pass out here to Glassel, and he'll be hit almost immediately. And that's not a play I think is going to work tonight. I know it's a good play to keep people honest, but for the most part, that's about all it's going to do for them, I think, tonight.
Yeah, the two times they've done it so far, they both either come to negative yards or no yards at all. Bradford's eating that up, and before even Glassel gets the ball, there's someone right there to tackle him.
Yeah, and sometimes you run a play just to see what the defense is going to do because you want to set up something else. So there's reasons why we run certain plays. The reason why we run motion. Find out if a team's playing man-to-man. Find out what they're going to do as far as moving to the motion. And sometimes just to set up a play. So it is second down now and about 11. A little loss on that play. At time John Wood with just a straight run this time, still on his feet inside. Didn't get quite to the 15-yard line. I think forward progress they should mark at about the 15-yard line as he gets pushed back there.
Before I forget, I want to apologize to some of our listeners. I've been told we might be a little staticky on the air, so
over Bradford right after these messages. You're listening to Sunny 106, your home for Rover football.
Joe's Tuck Shop is well known for the hottest styles in formal wear and
it's getting quite bad.
Sometimes a suit is all you need for a homecoming or a semi-formal dance. Joe's Tuck Shop in downtown Du Bois has suit rentals with ties and vests to match any dress. So when you need to look your best, just go to Joe's. Joe's Tuck Shop, West Long Avenue, downtown Du Bois, a proud supporter of Brockway Rover football, making guys look great for 50 years. Why work in your yard when you can enjoy it? Thanks to Yardworks. Here's James Burkholder.
We do a virtual walkthrough with the customer. That way they can see live and live in color what this product's actually going to look like installed at their house. So we go the extra mile for our customers, and they can have a virtual walkthrough and visit the project and see exactly what it's going to look like and go from there.
Weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly maintenance available.
It's more
Call
than static at this point. It's just breaking up.
And yardworksco.com.
The home of Brockway Rovers football is Sunny 106.
Okay, we are back, and with 21 seconds remaining in the first period, we have a pass from John Wood from the 21-yard line, and that is good for a Rover touchdown.
I think that was either number 15 Peyton Maurer or number 13 Austin Schmader, but the way it looks like, I think Austin Schmader was the one that made the catch there.
Yeah, I think it was Schmader as well. We were trying to get some things cleared up here with our equipment, so we missed that. Kicked by Lewis is up, no good as it was blocked. So with 21 seconds remaining here in the first period is Brockway 20, and the visitors.
Yeah, they've converted on every turnover. I think each drive tonight they've had a touchdown, so they're doing a really good job offensively and defensively, of course.
Kickoff is short once again, covered there by number 46. And on our program, that is Gonzalez, the sophomore. So it's 45-yard line is where the ball is going to be marked down there. So probably not a bad idea with the way their defense has been playing and with the way that Bradford's offense has been playing. To give them a shorter field is probably not a bad thing.
Yeah, especially with some of the way they're handling the kickoff. They're bobbling them, so if they can get someone down there quickly, they could even recover the ball.
And they've had two good kickoff returns, so not a bad idea to just kind of squib that thing on the ground. Okay, first down and 10 for Bradford, moving from right to our left. We've got 19 seconds on a stop clock right now in the first period. Brockway up 20-0.
Deep pass.
Okay, a nice catch there made, I believe, by number 12. That is Davis, Anthony Davis. Caught that ball at the 25-yard line.
There's also a flag on the play. I'm not exactly sure what they're going to call it.
So nice pass there from the 45 of Bradford all the way down to the 25 of Brockway.
I think they're going to call that a pass interference on glass. Oh, face mask.
Okay, so that is going to add a little something. Okay, so that's another advanced disposal first down for Bradford, and they've had very few of those tonight.
Yeah, they have really good field position now. They're at the 20-yard line on their side of the field.
Okay, got a wing to the near side. This time he's going in motion, and that is number 28. That is our friend, Mr. Derek Sunafrank. He'll get about 3 or so, maybe 4 out of that particular run, bring up a second down, about 6 for Bradford. Again, moving from right to our left. And that is the end of the first period. Brockway 20, Bradford 0. And want to remind you, save up to 50% on food, fun, and more with DuBois Big Deals. Shop local, buy local, save big. Shop DuBoisBigDeals.com and see what you can save today. And we'll be back to Brockway right after these commercial messages. You're listening to Sunny 106, your home for Rover football. From
keep in mind,
Brockway, our score is 20 for the Rovers. Nope.
Is this everything that we would need if we needed to hook up a phone?
Just scored, and let's see. I don't know if there's a flag in this play. The officials seem to be getting together. Might be a hole in this against Bradford, but now we're back to commercials again.
Hello? Hey, do you want me to plug it into my phone now? Sorry, I had it plugged in already. Okay, I think.
We are back trying to straighten out the technical difficulties here.
So
Bradford had scored from the 4-yard line. That was number 28, Sunfrank. And but there was a penalty on the play, so that moves the ball back to about the, let's see, the 17-yard line of Brockway. That's going to bring up a second down now and about 8 for...
I think we should still be able to hear it out of our headsets.
Yeah. Marty, are we good on the phone? Bradford with the ball moved from our left to our right. As soon as Frank with the ball down to about the 10-yard line of Brockway. If you missed it while you were away, or while we were away, Bradford had scored, but the ball it was called back because of a penalty, and so they started their series all over again. It is a 4th down now and 12 for Bradford at 10 minutes remaining in the first half. Brockway leads by a score of 20-0. Let's see what Bradford's going to do. They bring a whole bunch of players in. It looks like maybe they're going to try for a field goal on this 4th down. As they were warming up, it looked like they had a decent kicker.
Yeah, he had a really good leg. He was, if you've ever been to the field, he was kicking it onto the dike behind the field goal post, so he's got a pretty good leg.
That's Caleb Nuzzo, and that ball is, I'm not sure if it's deflected, but it went way wide to the left, so no good. So at 9:39, it remains 20-0 in favor of Brockway, and they will take over. Ball resting there at about the 17-yard line of Brockway. Let's see what the call is. Officials are standing out there. I don't know what they have called, but Ball's going to be marked right at the 20-yard line. So looks like Brockway's going to take over from there. Again, they're moving from the creek now to the park. They're leading this one, and this is their homecoming night tonight on a beautiful night from Brockway, Pennsylvania. Okay, looks like they're ready to go on the field right now. A little bit of confusion there for a few minutes. And Brockway with a double slot to the near side, to the far side. Born back there with John Wood. John Wood playing that quarterback position tonight. And there's a run off to the right side. That is...
yeah, Ford was run off to the right side. He was easily caught behind the 20-yard line. It looks like he lost 2 or 3 yards on the play.
Okay, so that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 12 now for the Rovers, as they are trying to establish that running game once more. Just joining us, Rovers 20, Bradford 0. 9:05 on the running clock here before the halftime. John Wood, quarterback, and he's going to keep it this time and finds very little running room there as he may get back to the first flag. I don't think he does, so it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They're going to give him, I think, pretty much nothing on that play, so 3rd down and 12 now from right around the 17-yard line.
Yeah, because it seems like some of the things that Brockway's trying to do tonight, right now, it seems like they lost their offensive tempo a little bit. I'm hoping they can rediscover it here on this 3rd down and convert, start moving this drive downfield. Marty, can you hear me?
Hello? Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's happening, because from what we are both aware of is once I plug it into the phone, we're supposed to be able to use our headsets to do it, and I think what's happening is you're just getting like my speaker, like just me talking off of it. So I tried putting it on speaker to see if that helped, but I still don't think that
technical world, things don't always work as you would like them to work. But we're back right now. Hope you can hear us well. We're at 6:48 remaining here in the first half. And what you did miss was a spectacular run by John Wood from his own 18-yard line. So 82-yard run with 5:57 remaining in the half. So that puts the Rovers up by a score of 26-0 here at their homecoming game. And so really the name of the game tonight has been John Wood with some of the runs that John's made tonight.
Yeah, running the ball. He already has 3 rushing touchdowns, and if my stats are correct, he's pretty close to over 200 yards rushing already. So he's doing a good job of torturing this Bradford defense with his legs, even with his throwing arm, because that touchdown pass that he had earlier, he seemed to throw it in a spot that only Schmader could really get it.
Well, there's no doubt about the fact that John is extremely quick and he's fast as well. I mean, he's a strong kid, just doesn't get hurt. And his forte tonight has been to make that quick move and have that defender miss him because he makes that quick move laterally, and then he turns on the jets and then just outruns everybody. Yeah. So right now it is a first down from the 46-yard line of Bradford. They're moving. They're moving from our left to our right here, and that's the big Gonzalez, the big 205-pound freshman, and he is going to get an advanced disposal first down. The ball inside the 45-yard line to about the 43-yard line of Brockway, and we've got 6:40 on a stop clock right now here in the first half, and we've got a beautiful evening and a great crowd here tonight. And I look over there, and there's a good many folks from all the way up there in Bradford as well.
Yeah, they actually filled up. If you've ever been to Brockway, they have like 2 different sets of bleachers on the visitor side, and they actually got one of them filled up. So it's nice to see when a visiting team, even so far away, makes the trip to watch their team.
Okay, first down and 10 for Bradford, moving from our left to our right from Brockway, 43-yard line. In motion is Sunder Frank, and quarterback keeps it. That is number 11. And our quarterback is Hanna. That's Douglas Hanna. He is a senior.
One of the things that I'm noticing tonight on the Rover defense, number 44, Connor Reichman for Brockway, is doing a good job going sideline to sideline and getting some of those big tackles before. I think the second fumble of the game, he's actually the one that punched it out. So he's doing a good job tonight for the defense.
Well, the defense is looking much better, and of course the offensive line is looking much better as well. And John doesn't need a whole lot of room to move that ball down the field.
Yeah, especially not today. Especially with the way he's moving his legs tonight, that's for sure.
Okay, we have a slot to the far side this time. Hanna at quarterback. We've got motion to the far side. Hand up again to Gonzalez, the big kid, 205-pound freshman, and he is met there by a host of Brockway tacklers. And so he advanced the ball closer to the line of game, but I think he's going to be a bit short. It's going to be a fourth down now. And let's call it about a fourth down, and it's going to be very close here.
It's hard to tell from where we're at. I think the referee is saying first down now.
Yep. Okay, so another advanced disposal first down as Bradford on the move right now. And last couple plays going to the big freshman Gonzalez.
Yeah, for being a big kid, he's got a good set of legs. I wouldn't want to be the first Brockway defender to hit him because he's probably like a tank.
Yeah, he's a big kid for sure. Hanna hand off again to Gonzalez at left side. They found a little running room over there, still on his feet, and pretty hard to bring down. That's going to be another advanced disposal first down as Gonzalez gets inside the 20-yard line to, let's see, about the 16, 17-yard line.
I hope I jinx Bradford by saying this, but it looks like they found their weapon on offense right now. The last couple of plays, he's been a good job chugging his legs and getting some positive yards there. I think that looked like about a 20-yard run for him.
It's been off that left side each time. Okay, first down and 10. Ball resting at the 17-yard line of Brockway. We've got 4:36 on the running clock here in the first half. Hanna calling the signals in motion again. And there is
It was a false start. Number 7 for Bradford. Hayden Drake for the Owls. He jumped really early before the ball was even snapped. I think he might have been a little anxious to finally get the block upfield.
Okay, first down and 15 now outside the 20-yard line to the 22-yard line for the Owls from Bradford. Again, we are at Frank Vericetti Field in Brockway. Bill Edwards along with Max Serena tonight. This is homecoming for the Brockway Rovers. There's one thing about your homecoming game. It's a game you always want to win, isn't it?
Yeah, and it seems like they're out to a pretty good start already.
Okay, double slot formation this time. Hanna calling the signals, and hand off again to Gonzalez over the left side. Got A little running room there, but not quite as much where there is a flag on the play, and where that came in looked like maybe a holding call that time.
Yeah, that'd be my best guess since it was back where the line of scrimmage was, and it was the back ref too, so you would probably think that would imply some type of holding or block in the back on the Owls.
So that is going to move them back. It is a hold. It's going to move them back 10 yards. Closing in here on halftime at our homecoming game from Brockway, and here we are. We're past the midway of the season already, as this is our 6th game. So time is moving on. We've had such great weather.
I know. I said to you before the game. It seems like every time we're doing the weather together, it's beautiful out. When I did the game with Laney Prosper and Kane, it was a really cold night, really windy. So. Looks like you're my good luck charm when it comes to weather.
Well, yeah, I missed those 2 games. I wasn't sure what the weather was like, but certainly before and after, the weather has been really, really good. Okay, trips to the near side this time on a first down. Back to pass his hand, looking to his right, and long pass downfield. He's got Nuzzo out there, and I think he makes the catch, and he does, and it is a touchdown. So from the 31-yard line, with 3:39 remaining in the first half, Bradford breaks through and will score on a nice pass there from Hannah to Nuzzo. Nuzzo is a senior, and Hannah is a senior, so from senior to senior.
Yeah, that's a pretty good thing. And if that is Bradford's first touchdown of the year, that was a pretty good pass by Hannah there, and I think Nuzzo did a even better job of going up to the ball and bringing it in.
And the coverage wasn't bad. I mean, the coverage was actually pretty good.
Yeah,
so
he was right on him.
Just a good play there by Nuzzo. Oh, extra point forthcoming here, and that is going to be Nuzzo, who scored the touchdown. He's also the kicker. And so at 3:39 on the stop clock, extra point will be.
Oh,
and I think we're going to have a penalty on that one. It'll be measured off on the kickoff, and that is our friend Mr. Glassell came in there trying to block that kick, but instead he knocked down the kicker.
Yeah, he came in hard, and I think he tried to stop at the end, but I think his momentum put him right in. He kind of hit checked the kicker for a moment.
And so that will be assessed on the kickoff. Well, with our score 26-6 with 3:39 remaining here in the first half, it is Brockway 26 and Bradford 6, and we'll be back with the Bradford kickoff right after these messages. You're listening to Sunny 106, your home for Rover football.
Keeping my Packers' schedule on time is a challenge. Keeping it safe and compliant, it's a second job.
Yes, that sounds perfect.
Yes, the DWC.
You're welcome. Thanks to you guys.
DWC comes to me.
True.
Yard line of Brockway, thanks to that penalty with Lassell taking down the field goal kicker. And there's a little chip shot, and it's going to be covered, and I think it's going to be covered by Bradford. So it went 10 yards, or did it?
Yeah, if it was at the 45, it looked like it was at the 32-yard line right there.
Yep.
So that would have definitely went past 10 yards.
Yep, it did. And one has to wonder why Brockway waited so long to try to get to that ball. I think they were a little surprised by that. Well done.
I'm surprised they didn't even put more men forward, because at least where they were kicking the ball, it might have been safe to assume that Bradford was going to try to do an onside kick to try to give them good field position if they recovered the ball.
Okay, so Bradford will take it at the 32-yard line of Brockway by virtue of that onside kick, which was successful. Not too many are, but that one was.
Yeah, I think it was Nuzzo. He did a good job with that kick. Got the ball up in the air. He kicked it at one of our offensive linemen too. So he picked a good person to kick it at as well.
Okay, I want to remind you for the latest in Rovers coverage, follow us on Facebook by searching Sunny 106. And we're having a discussion right now. The officials are huddled together out there. We're not privy to their conversation.
I'm trying to figure out what they're trying to discuss exactly, because
I don't know.
I mean, it definitely Bradford definitely got the ball. So my best guess, maybe the marking of the ball. I'm not exactly sure, especially.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe where they're going to have pizza after the game. You know,
Paisanos. Oh, it would be closed. That's unfortunate. Anybody with Brockway knows Paisanos is the place to go.
Yeah, well, homecoming night also. You think they stay open a little bit later? Have a little,
you know what? Yeah, I think they do actually.
Have a little special going on.
Yeah,
a homecoming special.
Increase that revenue.
That's right. Okay, first down and 10 now. They got it figured out from the 32-yard line of Brockway. Bradford has it. They're moving from our left to our right, or from the park to the creek. And there's a handoff that is to number 28, I do believe, and that is our friend Derek, son of Frank. And that's the first time I've seen that name. And there's Glassell still trying to tackle the ball on son of Frank there long after the whistle. So he likes to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, I think our defense looks a little frustrated right now, because it looks like a couple of them were being a little aggressive at the end of the play, trying to strip the ball. I hope they can at least try to settle it down and not force any more penalties that would hurt them on this drive.
Okay, well, it's resting inside the 30-yard line now at the 29-yard line. Second down from there. Second down and 8. We are at 2:52 on a running clock right now in the first half from Brockway tonight. Score 26-7 in favor of the Rovers. And looked like a little confusion in the backfield, but a little misdirection and inside counterplay, and that is going to go. I can't find his number because he's buried right now by some beef from Brockway. That is number 28. That's our friend again, Suna Frank.
Yeah, and Ethan Ward for Brockway was not fooled by that at all. Once Suna Frank hit the line, Park was right there to bring him right to the ground. He did a good job reading off that misdirection play.
The guy that was laying on him was number 75, Ethan Ward.
Oh, yeah, you should see the weight difference.
He's 6'3", and they have him listed at 325.
Yeah. Some of those kids on that defensive line, they're some big boys.
Boy, I'll say.
And he's only a sophomore, I believe.
Yep. Okay, third down. And Gonzalez off that left side where he's found some running room, but not so much this time as he'll get inside the 25-yard line to about the 24. That is going to be short of the line of gain. And it's going to bring up a fourth down. And one has to think that's just got to be four-down territory, right?
Especially at the end of the half. If I was a betting man, I think they would give it to Gonzalez again and try to push him right through the middle the way he's done with some of his run. But the one thing I have to say on that last play, Nick Porn did a good job penetrating and really slow him down so other Rovers defenders could get at him and bring him down.
Yeah, point being, don't let him get started.
Yep.
You know, with that 205 pounds. So 1:17 on a moving clock right now. Fourth down and 3 from the 26-yard line. It is Bradford. They'd like to get another score here before the half, and we have a timeout on the field. I want to remind you that all of our times out tonight are sponsored by Holt, and when we get these timeouts, and I like their advertisement here. We're going to keep it right here, Marty, too. By the way, we're going to just keep it right here. But Holt Water and Holt Drilling of Brockway, they sponsor our times out. And so if you think they're just another water company, then you're just all wet. You're just all wet. Okay, well, we've had a much better contest as far as Brockway is concerned than a lot of games we've had to do this year. As we know, they are a young team. We know that Bradford's a young team as well. I mentioned prior to the game as we were discussing things that Bradford last year graduated 24 seniors. Brockway graduated 18, so a lot of sophomores playing, a lot of freshmen also, really on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, battle of youth tonight, and just going back to what we said at the beginning of the game with Coach Benson, it seems like the turnover battle is the big key here, because Bradford has 2 turnovers, and Brockway executed both those turnovers with a touchdown, so that's the reason why they're out big right now, too.
Okay, so there's a reverse by Bradford, and good
good tackle
over there.
Braden Smith.
And Braden Smith on a tackle, and will be a first down, so they turn it over. Nice play defensively by Smith that time to string that out and make a great tackle. Ball's going to be spotted somewhere about the 30-yard line. We're down to just 1 minute now remaining in the half, and so then you folks can get up and get your almond milk and your pizza from the best pizza place in town, whatever you think that may be. Is there more than one in Brockway?
There's actually quite a bit, depending on where you think Brockway's reaches. It's not called Fox's anymore. It's called Glasstown Pizzeria. It's pretty good pizza there. You also have Carnicelli's as well, and you also have the BPN, where a lot of people like because they have good wings as well.
Okay, well, you would know that. Okay, first down and 10 now. Connor Ford has it. He'll cross the 30-yard line. He's got the sideline on the near side. Will be pushed out of bounds right at the 42, 43-yard line. So first down, another advanced disposal first down for Brockway. And they've got time with 43 seconds on a stop clock. John Wood could get one of those long runs again. And,
yes, especially the way he's running the ball. And I really like what Ford did right there. Instead of staying in bounds, he actually ran out of bounds, so that's actually saving them some time on the clock as well.
Yep, good thinking. As we have a slot to the far side and their side. Brockway running from our right to our left now, from the creek to the park.
Yeah, Bradford's playing a little more conservative. They have, it looks like 7 DBs back.
Ball resting on the near hash mark. In motion is Smith, and he will get the handoff. Got very little running room over there, and so he will make a couple, but it'll bring up a second down and about 8 for the Rovers. 46 seconds remaining, and we have another time on the field, and we're going to stay here again. And once again, I just want to mention that this time is brought to you by U Water and Holt Drilling of Brockway. If you think there's just another water company, then of course we know that you're all wet. Okay.
I don't know why. I always laugh at that one. I think it's so corny. I think that's why.
Yeah, that's been around for a while, but very pertinent, I think, to the advertisement. But anyway, so tonight Brockway getting an opportunity to do something offensively, and we thought prior to the game, Max, that they'd have the opportunity to run the ball, and they've done rather well. Of course, to give credit where credit is due also, Bradford has done a good job making some adjustments to stop some of the run plays that Brockway ran so freely, especially in the first period.
Yeah, since then, Brockway's only scored one single touchdown. Bradford's done a good job of eliminating some of those big plays, but that big 82-yard run from Wood is what hurt Bradford in this quarter.
Okay, ball resting on the far hash right now. Again, Brockway moving from right to our left. We've got a double slot, far side, near side. John Wood is back there. I think he's got Stewart back there, the freshman, with him this time, number 27. And he's going to run straight ahead again. Finds some running room there, crosses the 50, and still on his feet, cross the 40, inside the 30, and he could go. He's got the far sideline, and John Wood, no flags that I can see, will score from the 47-yard line. And so John Wood with 33 seconds remaining. And as I said, I didn't see a flag, but that does not mean that there isn't one. Let's hope there is not.
They're all huddled, it looks like, at the 15-yard line, so I'm not exactly sure what's happening here.
Could have been a block in the back because there were some defenders trying to close in on him. There's some Brockway.
Yep, there's a flag. Ref finally picking it up.
Yep, didn't see it, but what a great run again from John Wood. We just talked about the fact that even though there's short time, John could break one.
Well, I was just going to call you a wizard because you just brought that up earlier. And what's the next thing that happens? He breaks a run like that, and he showed good vision again. He went right up the middle, and right as a Bradford Owl was about to get him, he saw that the far side of the field was open and just took off from there. It's just very unfortunate that there was a foul there or a penalty there, because it didn't seem like that was really necessary to have any sort of blocking for him.
Yeah, because he was gone.
Yep.
Another advanced disposal first down, though, so from the 26-yard line now, Bradford. 1st and 10 as John Wood keeps it again, and coming to the near side. Got some running room and got the sideline inside the 25-yard line, pushed out of bounds at about the 10. They're going to mark him, I think, at the 12-yard line. So another advanced disposal first down. John Wood again, and John Wood having a career night tonight.
I'd have to call him the killer owl tonight, because he's just torching that defense right now, because I think I have him over 250 yards rushing right now. It's incredible to see how well this kid's running tonight.
Okay, so another advanced disposal, first down, 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. 25 seconds remain here in the half, and the Rovers, of course, would like to get another one punched in before the halftime. And we have a flag on the play prior to the snap here. So let's see if we have somebody lined up offsides or what. Yep. Oh, Bradford's off, so Bradford lined up in the neutral zone. So, wow, you don't see that too often. But,
yeah, especially so quickly because the ball wasn't even snapped yet before the ref threw the flag down.
Yep. So it's first down, and now 5 yards closer to the end zone. So first down and 5. They can make a first down before they score. Line of gain is about the 4-yard line, I think. Okay, John Wood. So back at quarterback, Stewart is back there with him. John Wood going to follow Stewart, and he will score. So from 5 yards out, John Wood will score.
Yeah, he's doing everything for the Rovers tonight. He's running it. He even has a passing touchdown. He's there on the defense. He's all around.
I should say 8 yards out. So 8-yard score for John Wood to add to his total with 20 seconds remaining here in the first half. Makes it 32 now to 7 in favor of the Brockway Rovers. And Lewis Painter now up to try the extra point with 20 seconds remaining here. Ball is down, and it is blocked. So no good. So with 20 seconds remaining in the half, it is Brockway 32, Bradford 7. And we'll be back with the Brockway kickoff right after these messages. You're listening to Sunny 106, your home for Rover football.
Born and raised.
And a few other people. 20 seconds remaining here in the first half. 32 for the Brockway Rovers and 7 for Bradford. Ball's kicked by Painter on the ground. It's going to be picked up back there at about the 25-yard line. That is number 12, and that is Davis, Austin Davis. And he is a junior running back. So we're down to 12 seconds now remaining here in the half.
Yeah, I'm not even going to guess what they're gonna do, because it seems like this year, anytime I've tried to predict what a team does at the end of the half, it's the exact opposite. So I think I'm just going to watch and see what unfolds tonight.
Well, you know, it's the philosophy of the coach. You know, I mean, some teams say, you know what, get 12 seconds, we're going for it. Doggone it, we're going for it. We're down 32-7. Why not? And other coaches are more conservative. They're going to say, we're just going to go ahead and take a knee and get out of the half and kind of regroup, which it looks like they might do in the formation they're in right now. It's pretty tight, so maybe they're not going to do a whole lot. But we do have motion. It's Davis. Hand off to Gonzalez off the left side. He'll be hit right at about the 50-yard line.
Looks like Seth Stewart got to him first, but Ben Glassell finished him off with a hard hit to finally put him down. It's crazy because Ben Glassell was one of the smaller guys on the defense, and he came and he looked like he put a big hit on Gonzalez.
Okay, so we're at the end of one half here from Brockway. The Brockway Rovers 32 on their homecoming night, and Bradford 7. And we'll be back with the halftime show right after these messages. You're listening to Sunny 106, your home for Rover football.
This is Joseph. Rover football is Metro State Senator. I'm proud to be affiliated with such a league, consistently putting the
downtown Brockway tonight, and at halftime it is the Rovers 32 and Bradford 7. And I'll tell you what, for the Rovers, this has got to be a game where they're encouraged, because we know they're playing another 0-5 team, and they are 0-5. It looks like they're going to go to 1-5 after this one is over, by the way things are going tonight. But you know, as we look at this game, I guess when you think offensively, as it relates to the Rovers, the first name that comes to mind, obviously, is John Wood.
Oh, easily. I mean, he's, like I've said already, he's been torching the Bradford defense tonight with his legs. He already has 4 touchdowns tonight, so I'm crazy to think what he's going to be doing in the second half. I mean, if they pull away, you know, they might try to limit his workload in the second half, but he's been doing a good job already of just beating up that defense, juking around them, doing whatever he can to get into that end zone.
Yeah, and this has been this year been a unique. They're in a unique situation because they are here at halftime leading by a score of 30-7. Not only are they leading, but they're leading by a score like that. And we know that when you get small schools, graduation is definitely going to affect your team the next year. And certainly this time it has happened. But Brockway, over the last, I don't know, Max, you might know better than I, but over the last probably 2 decades, has really been very good. You know, I've had great seasons over the last probably 2 decades.
Yeah, because when I think about that, I think back in the early thousands, the teams of Sakari and Antonuccio, I think those are the 2 names that stick out. That the running attack was always big for them. But yeah, all I can ever remember is just Brockway winning it year in, year out. So it's a little bit different here, but I don't think Brockway's has ever had a senior class that really has, after they graduated, really affected how the team is the next year.
Yeah, that's I think right. I think that's why it's so unique this year, that it is different than what it has been, because and I think that we see overall, as you look at some of the smaller schools around the area, and when I say area, I'm talking about maybe a couple of counties that are close to us, you see the same thing happening, that the numbers are really down. Brockway tonight dressing 19 players. When was the last time that happened? You know, I certainly don't.
Yeah, I don't. And well, even look at Bradford. I'm just doing a head count, but it looks like they only have around 40 kids. And that's a kid when I was in high school. That's a AAA team where they would probably have at least 70 to 100 kids on their football team. So it's crazy to think that they only have that many now. So it's just sad to see some of that stuff happening. And I'm really just hoping that this is just the bottom of the trend, and eventually those numbers will start picking back up and bringing more of that competition back to District 9.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of controversy out there. We see a lot of kids in sports really young. We see it in football, certainly we see it in baseball, and we see it in soccer and other sports, but starting really young. And I've seen it with football in the sense that when kids start really early, sometimes they just get tired of it. You know, and so by the time they get to junior high school, they've kind of fed up with that. I've seen kids that, just recently we had some kids that perhaps played football in 7th grade, and then they came out again as seniors in high school. I mean, to me, you know, coming from where I come from and at my age, I never heard such a thing where you start playing and then sometime you stop before you really get into the prime of your career, and don't play maybe until you're a senior. You know, you miss all that time. So it's hard for me to get a grasp of of all of that. But we certainly have seen a lot of attrition with regards to, especially in a lot of the smaller schools. You see a lot of jointures. I know there's a school back in Schuylkill County. Well, actually it's in Carbon County, but it includes high schools that were in Carbon County or in Schuylkill County as well, where they had this big jointure. One of the schools that went into that jointure was the high school I graduated from, and then there were probably 4 other small schools like ours that made that jointure. Well, I think what I heard, if it's correct, next year that school will no longer be in existence. And they were a quad A school and would be classified, probably at least now, as at least a quad A, but maybe even a quad 5. Next year, they may not be in existence at all.
Oh, that's really sad to hear that too. But I mean, you got that from the game we had last week with Ridgeway and Johnsonburg. I think it was about 5 or so years ago where they actually had to finally join in and have one football team, because that was the only way that either school would actually have some type of football program. Now, luckily, I think that's, now correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not sure if you know this or not, but I think that's the only program that those two schools actually had to co-op on. So at least it's just football. I really would hate to see them combining other sports too. But I've been hearing sometimes that, like, people have asked, well, do you think Brockway should co-op with another school? And I really think that just try to hold off as long as you can, because for me, Brockway football is just a tradition, and I'd really hate to see another school coming in. I mean, competition standpoint, that might be nice, but it's still Brockway football, and I'd like to see that go on as long as it can.
Yeah, I don't think that would happen anytime soon, if ever happens at all, Max. But certainly, well, you look at Clarion now. They've got North Clarion, and now they have Clarion Limestone. So you've got 3 schools now there in one, and sometimes that makes a lot of difference to a school, and it just depends on what kind of program they're inheriting into their program, and so it just remains to be seen. As we look at just for a second here or two, let's look at teams right now, the stronger teams in this league that we're in. We're looking at Clarion, you're looking at Kane, and what arguably the best teams right now would be Clarion. And of course, you can't count the Elkers out from Ridgeway, Johnsonburg either.
No, definitely not.
So what happens at the end of this? This is the 6th game of the season, believe it or not. And what's hard to believe is that as we talked about earlier, the weather's been so beautiful, and but we don't have to worry. We're in Pennsylvania, so just wait. Just wait a little bit
next
longer.
Week there might be snow on the ground, so you never know.
That's right, you never know. Well, I'll tell you what, we look at next week. As I looked at the advanced forecast, you're looking at 86 degrees. Some days that are 85 degrees next week. So next week's game, Friday, we're going to be in Montauk, and it could be pretty warm in Montauk really next week, next Friday for our game by looks of the weather forecast. And
I have to tell you, actually, one of the most miserable games I've ever been to. I think it was the year after I graduated high school. Brockway played in Sheffield on a Saturday, and I'm pretty sure game time temperature was like 91 degrees. And this was like at the beginning of September, and I just remember at the end of the game just feeling absolutely exhausted. And then the next week, I think the temperature was like 60. So that tells you exactly what Pennsylvania weather's like.
Well, yeah, you never know. I played back in the Northeast in the cold regions, and I know my junior year we played West Hazelton, and now it's all Hazelton, but West Hazelton at that time. And they're a much bigger school than we were, but they played on our field. It was 92 degrees, the third game of the season. We came out in black jerseys, and at halftime we changed to orange. It was just crazy. And then we played a Thanksgiving Day game every year against our rivals, and it did everything on Thanksgiving Day. It rained, it snowed, it sleeted, it did everything. The sun was out shining. And so in about 2-hour period of time, they did about everything you can think of except for a tornado and an earthquake.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
Well, we are right now witnessing the homecoming events down here in the field in front of us. And I'll remind you, our temperature right now is probably around 65 or so degrees. Yeah. The night is clear. It's a beautiful night. And just want to remind you, our weather, our time and temp, and it's about 5 minutes to 9 right now, is brought to you by Hepler's Country Store. I want to let you know that find all your bulk foods, dried goods, and baking supplies for your pre-game or holiday cooking and baking. They have all that kind of stuff. They have all types of sprinkles, hot chocolate, spices, and more. Hepler's Country Store on Facebook, or just stop in. Okay, well, it looks like we had we can't tell from up here who the queen is, but
I believe that's Mackenzie Overbeck.
Oh, okay.
If I'm correct. Unless my subbing memory is a little dull.
Okay, well, correct. Congratulations to whoever it may be, and we are down to about 8 minutes before the second half, so we're going to take a break, and we'll be back to Brockway, where the score at halftime is Brockway Rovers 32 and Bradford the Owls 7. We'll be right back after these messages. You're listening to Sunday 106, your home for Rover football. for the football team. They are up 32-7 right now as we're getting ready to get into the third period. And so it's a position that Brockway has not found themselves in, unfortunately, this year. But this is a great night to do it. They're playing at home. It's homecoming, so it's a great time to do it. And I'll tell you what, you're really bad. I'll tell you how you know you're really bad as a football team. You want to know that?
How?
Okay. When you play your homecoming game away.
Oh, yeah. You told me about this.
Right.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, man. I couldn't imagine that. I'm like, it makes me think, how do you even have your homecoming, like, celebration?
Well, of course, I'm kidding. But anyway, so you've got, Max, you have some stats. Since you're the math guy, you have some stats from the first half here if you want to share those with us, please.
I just want to quickly just mention the homecoming queen is Mackenzie Overbeck. Okay. So anybody at home that was wondering that's who it is. So some of the stats that I have tonight is John Wood in the passing game. He's 3 for 4 with 23 yards, including that touchdown to Austin Schmader at the end of the first quarter. It was a 24-yard pass, really good one that he had to go up and get. In the running game, though, that's where John Wood is really torching that Bradford defense. For my calculations, it looks like he has 16 rushes, 250 yards exactly, and 4 touchdowns as well. Connor Ford's still doing a good job with his legs too. 5 rushes, 26 yards, and Brian Smith has actually had a couple rushes tonight for 2 rushes for 10 yards. And I do want to mention some of the defensive keys. Connor Reichman also has a forced fumble, a couple recoveries there, so the defense is doing a good job for the offense, is getting some of those turnovers and giving them more of a chance to score.
Okay, thank you, Max. I want to remind you, don't miss a minute of the action all season long. The Rovers are streamlined live online at Sunny 106 FM. On your iPad, smartphone, or computer, catch the Rovers at Sunny 106 FM. And I see that I say smartphone, but I'll tell you what, you have to be
smart to use it.
You have to be a little smart to use it. I mean, it was for a long time I was being made fun of because I was using the old flip-top phone. And so I told people, I said, not only does it have a flip-top, it has a dial, has a rotary dial inside. And say that to younger people, and they say to you,
what?
Rotary dial? What in the world is a rotary dial? And I say, well, I come from the time when we had, you had to pick up the phone and somebody else was on the party line, And,
the switchboard.
You have to ask them to get off the party line if you had an emergency. So, don't laugh. Some of you that are listening know what I'm talking about. So if you know what I'm talking about, it kind of identifies what age group you happen to fall into. Okay, well, the festivities at halftime are just about over from here. We're at about 2:50 on the clock here before the second half kickoff. And remember that next week we are going to be in Montauk, wherever that may be. We're going to be in Montauk. And I remember being there many, many years ago. I'm not sure even why I was there, but if I remember correctly, there were a lot of steps that you had to go down from the high school. The field is actually, instead of being up, it's down. And so you go down from the high school down all these steps, to get to the field. So I don't think we're going to have to do that very much. I mean, I know I don't want to have to do it very much.
I'll carry you down. How's that?
So I'm just a little over 3 weeks out from total hip replacement, so there are not too many steps I want to climb right now. But in any event, we have the Owls coming out on the field right now, and on this beautiful evening from Brockway. And I just want to remind you, we're about 65 degrees, somewhere in that area. Nice clear night tonight. And remind you that our weather, time, and temperature is brought to you by Hepler's Country Store. And you can find all of your Carhartt attire, including coats and rainwear and more. Hepler's Country Store on Bogey Run Road in Brockport. Attire, accessories, and boots for all ages. Hepler's Country Store on Facebook, or just stop on in there. And, of course, if you are like my friend Max here, they've got all the good bulk foods over there. They've got dried goods and baking supplies for all your pregame holiday cooking and baking. They have all types of sprinkles and hot chocolate, spices, and more at Hepler's Country Store on Facebook, or just go ahead and stop in. I've never been over there at the store, but I think I need to do that because I just love those country stores. Have you ever been over there?
I've been over there once when I was younger, but every time I drive into Brockport, I always think about stopping there because if I'm correct, somebody says they have really good beef jerky there, and I'm a big beef jerky advocate, so I might have to stop on, especially hearing all these ads about it. I feel like I have to go at some point now.
Well, if they had salmon jerky, I'd be all for it. But, the beef, you can have the beef, but I'll take the salmon. I'll take the salmon any day. Okay, well, we're glad you're with us on radio if you can't be over here at the field. Once again, we're at Frank Verichetti Field. and ready to get on with our second half here. This is one game where the Rovers actually went into halftime and probably felt pretty good about themselves.
Yeah, it really. And the one thing that I think the coaches should be preaching is just staying focused. You definitely don't want to lose your focus here and let the Owls get back into the game. I think they start with a kickoff in the second half, so I think that they can start out strong and punch the ball in the end zone. That might be the final blow that they give to Bradford tonight.
Yeah, it's obvious what Bradford was trying to do here late in the second period, especially running Gonzalez off, especially off that left side is where he was finding some running room. So they may come right back out with that. Hopefully, Brockway has made that a little adjustment there, maybe to get one extra person in that box, in that gap, or whatever they may do. But right now, Brockway's pretty much had their way. It started off with a couple turnovers, which they turned into points, which is important. Once you get that turnover, do something with it, and they have. So it's been a good night so far for Brockway. Well, we're going to take one more break, I think, Max, here before the second half begins. Pay a few bills back there at the studio. So we'll be right back after these messages. You're listening to Sunny 106, your home for Rover football.
I don't know why, I just feel stiff tonight. It's weird.
I'm stiff in one place. I'm starting to sleep a little better on that side, though.
That's good.
Sleep has been hard to come by.
Not any better.
Yeah, it's getting better. It was a little hard today. I worked out at the Y, and then I had my physical therapy, and they really kicked my butt pretty hard there. So I went home and was able to actually take a little nap.
That's good. Yeah, today at school wasn't too hard for us. The seniors are out, so right there I didn't have 2 classes, so I only had 4 other classes to work on. Some of them had to work on a test, some of them didn't, so it was a nice, easy day. I taught some of the kids how to play liar's dice. I know. Bill, have you ever played liar's dice before?
Pardon me?
Football is back. As your state senator, I am proud to be affiliated with such a great program. Consistently putting the team on the field for the Brockway High School and each participant, whether they be cheerleaders, players, statisticians, managers, or coaches, I wish you continued success. Best of luck in all your games. I will certainly follow every game with the anticipation that will over.
The home of Brockway Rovers football is Sunny 106.
To tee this one off, the Bradford Owls will kick from our left to our right. Or if you're a Brockway native, you will know that it's from the park to the creek. And so we're about ready to get this underway. Brockway with a lead in this one, 32-7 over the Owls from Bradford. And so it might be a very long trip home, longer than normal for the Owls tonight. Okay, this time a high kickoff. It's going to be taken down there by Wood, and he's got a little bit of running room as he will get across the 40-yard line to about the 41-yard line. So a nice return there by John Wood. As we are underway here in the second period, the old guy, Bill Edwards, along with the young guy, Max Perenia. And so Max in his rookie year on radio this year. And so how's it been so far, Max?
I think each week I keep loving it more and more. I think one of the things that I keep dreading is I just say something that's just completely ridiculous on the radio, and then I become a laughingstock to some of my friends because I know some of them are listening. So if I screw up once, I know I'm never going to hear the end of it.
Well, you know, at my age, you get used to saying things ridiculous, so you kind of give yourself a break. But anyway, Rovers, Connor Ford now with a handoff, and he's trying to make his way around the right side, but will lose ground. And not just a little bit, but about 5 yards. So that's going to bring up a second down and about 15 now for the Rovers, as that is not a very auspicious start for the Rovers.
Yeah, especially with that run to the offside. It just didn't seem like there was much running room for him. Hopefully this next play here they can get more positive yards, give them in a more third and short kind of area.
Well, one thing positive about radio for where you are right now, Max, is the technology has certainly come a long way since when I started with a microwave antenna way back in the 70s, early 70s. So, okay, split to the near side, way to the near side this time, a split to the far side. John Wood's going to keep it himself, running straight ahead, but not much running room there, but he makes the most of it as he crosses the 40-yard line. They're going to mark him at the 41-yard line. That's going to bring up a third down, and still very long for the Rovers.
Yeah, he at least got them back to their original line in scrimmage. Did a good job juking past a couple of Bradford's defenders, but it looks like right now they're honing in on him more than they did on the first half. So that's probably really what the game plan that they really changed up on.
Okay, third down and 10 from the Brockway 41-yard line. Brockway, as we said, moving from the creek from our right to our left to the park. They lead this one at 10:31 here remaining in the third period by a score of 32-7 from Frank Verschetti Field on their homecoming night, 2019. Got a slot to the near side and the far side this time. Connor Ford in jet motion. John Wood will keep it. He's got running room there as he crosses the 50-yard line. Makes a juke inside the 40. He's got the sideline. Does he have the speed to make it all the way? I think he does, and he does. From his own 41-yard line with 10:05, it's John Wood. Hits the sideline, and he will score. And so he's at that 300-plus mark now.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That run alone puts him over that. And he's still doing a good job of just using his vision to find exactly when he needs to shoot to the outside. Because I think every single run he starts on the inside, and then he just makes that split-second decision to finally shoot it to the outside, and then it's just a foot race from there.
Okay, extra point forthcoming here as Lewis Painter is ready to kick it. Holding the ball will be Glassell. Benjamin Glassell, ball is down, the kick is up, and it is blocked again.
That's Nuzzo. I think the last 3 PATs he's done that.
Yes, I think they need to get somebody on him. Okay, so with 10:05 remaining here in the third period, it is Brockway, the Rovers, 38, and Bradford 7. We'll be back with the Rovers kickoff right after these messages. You're listening to Sunny 106, your home for Rover football. Kickoff by Painter will go down to the 25-yard line. It's picked up there by number 32, I believe that is. And number 32 is, I checked my program here, that is Griffin. He is a sophomore. He'll be dropped almost immediately there about the 30-yard line. So the Brockway Owls, or the 30-yard line. So they will start from there with a first down and 10. 10 minutes remaining here in the third period. And so far it's been the John Wood game.
Yeah, he's just been running all over the Bradford defense. I feel like I'm going to get tired saying that by the end of the night because I feel like I'm just repeating myself. But he's just being extraordinary tonight. I hope if you're at home, you're actually watching this on that live stream because it's a wonder watching him.
Okay, double wing formation here. Gonzalez off that left side again. They're taking up where they left off in the at the end of the second period, at the end of the first half, and Gonzalez all the way out to about the 39-yard line. That's going to bring up a second down and short now for the Owls from Bradford.
Yeah, it seems like it's a consistent thing that Bradford did in the end of the first half is they're going to use Gonzalez there to get those positive yards because he's a big boy down there, and once he gets those legs running, it's hard to stop him.
Yeah, remember, this kid's a sophomore. Look out the next 2 years, huh?
Yeah, I hate to see how much bigger he gets.
Second down and 1. We got a motion, and it goes to Gonzalez. He will make the advanced disposal first down, and a couple more as they're going to mark him down at about the 44-yard line. Be another first down. So, yeah, I mean, this kid, he continues to gain strength and speed and quickness. Will be one tough dude by the time he gets to be a 12th grader.
Yeah, and I think this is a different type of running back that Brockway's used to. Brockway's used to kind of have a running back that's big, but speed's really their killer. I think Gonzalez is more of just that power back that he'll just come and hit you hard and just keep moving forward.
It's called, a punch in the mouth, right?
Yeah.
Kind of punch in the mouth kind of runner. Okay, trips this time to the near side, one wing to the far side now on a first down and 10 from the 44-yard line. And there's a handoff from the wing position. That is, I think, Sunafrank once again. And he will lose yardage on the play, or they're going to bring it back. Okay, going to get him line of gain out to the first flag there. So it'll be a second down and 10 now from the same place, the 44-yard line.
That looked generous, though, from that spot. But did he slip? It looked like he slipped.
It looks like he did. Of course, I think if he had not, he would have been knocked down anyway. There were a lot of Rovers around him, but I think you're right. It looked like his gain was farther back, but they marked him at the line of scrimmage. So second down and 10 now from the 44-yard line. Bradford moving from our left to our right motion again. And keeper this time by the quarterback. That is Hanna, and he's going to be hit almost immediately. They're going to give him maybe perhaps 2 yards on the play, bring up a third down and 8.
Oh, I think that was actually Nunzo. That was number 3 for Bradford that was running ahead.
I thought it was
it looked. I think they've been switching them out every once in a while, but I think he was the one behind there now, though.
Oh, okay, you're right. That was Caleb Nunzo. They originally had him in the program at quarterback. The coach told me, no, he's not playing quarterback. He's playing split end. But now they got him back there at quarterback. He's wearing number 3 tonight. So, we've got trips to the near side this time. But pretty wise move, though, since he's probably their best athlete. At that time, Gonzalez didn't get anywhere as he was hit behind the line of scrimmage, so a loss on the play. As Kimber got fourth down and long, a definite punting situation for the Owls.
Yeah, Nunzo went off to our near side and pitched it. It seems like he's probably more of the quarterbacks that takes rep in practice, because that option that he had there, it seems like that was more natural to him than what it was with Hanna.
Yeah, I think he has been the guy because they said in the program they gave us he's listed as the quarterback, but the coach said, we'll make a little change there. So, but he's probably one of the better athletes they have on the team, as the Owls are in punt formation from their own 43-yard line. And that is Nunzo is going to try to find room to punt, but he doesn't have any room, and he finally gets it off, but it is very short, picked off by Glassel, and Glassel is hitting the far sideline and is going to be pushed out of bounds down there around the 15-yard line. That was a weird play.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. I thought he was trying to do one of those rugby punts, kind of to punt off to the side, but he tried running, and then as he was tackled, he actually punted the ball right to Ben Glassel at the looked like the 46-yard line. I got nervous there because I saw a couple of linemen right there where the ball was, and then all of a sudden I just see Ben Glassel just pop right through with the ball.
That was just a weird play, but in favor of the Rovers, as they're now in scoring position down around the 15-yard line with a first down and 10. So they've had pretty good field. And that handoff is going to go to left of John Wood. Split to the far side, way out there. That's Glassel. Ball's on the near side hash mark right now. John Wood calling the signals. And he has the ball and will hand it off to Ford. And he will score from the 6-yard line with 5:39 remaining. Connor Ford will score to make it 44-7 now. And now we are in the
Mercy roll. Doesn't that feel so good to say that for Brockway, that they're in the mercy roll?
Yeah, first time we could say that for Brockway this year. So 44 points on the scored right now with 5:39. So in a short period of time, Brockway has been able to put points on the board tonight as Lewis Painter is back to on loan from the soccer team. Lewis Painter will try for the extra point to make it 45. Ball is down, and this time they're going to fake it, and Glassell will keep it, and he will score. And so Ben Glassell will score a 2-point conversion to make it 46-7 with 5:39 remaining in the third period. And we'll be back with the Brockway kickoff right after these messages. You're listening to Sunny 106, your home for Rover football. The kickoff very low on the ground, covered by one of the up front men. That's number 7, Drake Hayden. And so the Owls will have possession of the football at the 50-yard line. And one thing you can say about Brockway, they have certainly given Bradford field position on every single kickoff,
I would have to say that their probably average starting field position is at their own 45. And for any team, that seems like a good spot to be, but Bradford's only been able to put 7 points up on the board, so they haven't really utilized their field position.
Nuzzo is still a quarterback that trips to the far side. This time is split to the near side, looking to pass it out, but he's going to be hit back there and dropped at the 41-yard line, so a big loss on the play.
And I can say, hey, that's a DCC native, Peyton Mao right there that got the sack for Brockway. So I always like to give a little shout-out to some of those Du Bois Central kids that are playing for Brockway for us.
Okay, yes, we've got to remember that Du Bois Central Catholic, they are in a co-op with Brockway when it comes to football. And so we have several members of that fraternity playing for Brockway here tonight. Okay, second down now, and about 17 from the 43-yard line of the Owls from Bradford. They're moving from the park to the creek right now, from our left to our right. They've got a slot, double slot formation, a split this side, near side, and far side. And there's a handoff, an inside handoff to the wing. That is number 28, and that is Sunder Frank. And he'll pick up a couple and move the ball up close to the line of gain, about, give him about, I guess, 2 yards to go. So third down and about 2.
Third down and 12. I think it's third down and 12.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it looks like the first down.
I forgot about the big loss. I'm looking at the first play there. Okay, well, it's getting late for an old
man.
I know.
That's why the young man's here to remind you.
You've got to take me back to the home, when the thing is over. So, okay, third down now. And 12 from the 48-yard line for the Owls. Double wing formation again, split to the far side and the near side. Motion again. That handoff's going to go to Sunder Frank, and he will get up near the line of gain, a little bit short as he's going to mark him down across the 50, all the way inside to about the 44-yard line.
Oh, and I think him and Glassell had a huge collision there, and I think they're actually going to take Glassell off the field just in case he might have a concussion. That's my best guess of what happened, because it kind of looked like their helmets collided there at the end of the play. I think it's just a precautionary thing.
Well, his name is Glassell, but he is not very...
He's more like iron.
Okay. Not very fragile at all. Okay, again, double wing formation. Nuzzo is still at quarterback. Motion to the far side this time, a handoff to Sunder Frank. And Sunder Frank playing the backfield now. They've got a couple good athletes, and I knew this coming in, that Bradford had a couple of good athletes, and but it's been difficult for them, just like it has been for our friend John Wood during the course of the year. Hard to get him going, because they've got young members of the team playing in places where you need to have good blocking, and they're young guys that are trying to figure this whole thing out. And I heard the offensive and defensive line coach before the game for Brockway, yelling at one of the players, one of the big dudes, saying, "Figure it out."
Yeah, get it right.
Figure it out. Figure it out. So certainly that place where they're figuring some things out, but it will come, and I think tonight is a big grow-up time for them. Okay, so we have the Owls' ball is marked at about the 41-yard line. They will have a first down from there, as we had another advanced disposal first downs. They got the good mark last time around, so they call it a first down, and it's at the Brockway 41-yard line with 2:49 on running clock here in the third. I'm sorry. It was a turnover because it's fourth down. And I got talking to you, and I forgot what was going on in the field. But, they turned the ball over in fourth. So first down for Brockway. Straight ahead run, about 5 yards. So it's second down and 5 for Brockway. And we're at 2:33 on running clock here in the third period. We're in the Mercer rule. It's 46-7 right now.
And so that clock is just going to keep going and going and going. Like the Energizer Bunny.
Like the Energizer Bunny. Okay, and it's, I think, a good rule that they instituted some time ago. Okay, we have Brockway with a slot to the near side this time.
Looks like we got a new running back in the backfield, too.
Yep.
I think number 44, Connor Reichman, looks like.
We have a different formation in the backfield right now also, and looks like it's going to be pretty much a running game. And, good run this time, and that is a nice run there by number 44, and that is Rickman. And Rickman is a junior, about 5'9", about 150 pounds, and he looked like he had some speed that time.
Yeah, he's a quick kid, that's for sure. And he's really strong with his finish too. He didn't slow up when he got to some of those defenders. He just was forcing himself forward too.
And that is yet another advanced disposal first down for the Rovers, as the ball is resting outside the 35 at the 37-yard line. First down for the Rovers on this their homecoming evening from Brockway, Pennsylvania.
And I think they're bringing in some more of their backups too, because Seth Stewart, it looks like he's more in the offense right now, and I think number 22 for the Rovers is out there. I think that's Jacob Baird as well. Yeah. So it looks like now might be the time they start putting some of those kids in.
Yeah, they got Stewart and Rickman in the backfield. We have a timeout on the field, and this time is brought to you by U Water and Holt Drilling of Brockway. You think they're just another water company, then I thought somebody called a timeout, but I guess they didn't. But anyway, we got a little plug in there for U Water Company anyway.
You're all wet.
Yeah, I was all wet that time, I think. But it looked like I think they fooled.
I thought it was a timeout. I don't know what they were doing.
I think they fooled the public address announcer as well. But anyway, slot to the far side. Calling signal now is Connor Ford and hands it off there. That's Rickman again. Good run by Rickman as he's almost to the 30-yard line, but pushed back. So they're going to mark him probably outside the 30 at about the 32-yard line.
He looks like one of those runners that has a non-stop motor too, because he got hit and he was still chugging his leg. He was pulling it. Looked like it had around two more defenders before our third one brought him down.
Yep, looked good on that run as we now have a second down for the Rovers. Second down at about, let's give them about 5 yards to go now for the Rovers. They are in Owl territory at about the 31-yard line. We're at 15 seconds now on the running clock, almost at the end of the third period here. And time has gone fast here in the third period. Connor Ford playing quarterback right now and hands it off again to Rickman. He's got some running room over the left side, and he'll get down to the 35 inside the 25-yard line. So it's inside the 25 to the 24. And so that will be an end of 3 from Brockway. Don't miss a minute of the action all season long. The Rovers are streamlined live online at Sunny 106 FM on your iPad, smartphone, or computer. Catch the Rovers at Sunny 105. And remember this too, that Priority Digital Services is a local online marketing team. Request a free digital marketing audit at PriorityDigitalServices.com. And we'll be back in 1 minute right after these messages. You're listening to Sunny 106, your home for Rover football.
Ooh. Did you hear that?
Yep.
Clarion's up 41-28 over Kane.
I want to consider restarting that laptop again. It's starting to get weird.
One convenient source for clean and clear water. Superior installations at competitive prices, including sales, service, and rentals for pumps, tanks, and water supply systems, and sprinklers. That's us. Well,
It's starting to break up.
Geothermal wells, well cleaning. And if you need bottled water delivery, Gatorade and coffee to your office, we do that too.
Yeah, whatever
with
works.
free delivery. Ask for details.
Not quite yet.
The home of Brockway Rovers football is Sunny 106.
Joe's Tuck Shop is well known for providing the hot.
17-yard line. Rovers with the run. They are deep in Owl territory. Ball's going to rest now about the 13-yard line.
Yeah, and with this running clock, this quarter might end up going a lot quicker than some people would expect it to.
Okay, we did hear a broadcast or hear some information that we have Clarion is up. What is the score? Clarion and Kane?
I think somewhere in the fourth quarter we have Clarion 41, Kane 28. So that kind of answers your question from earlier.
Yeah, about who was maybe in first place. I kind of gave the edge to Clarion, but Kane had done well here the last couple of games. Also, okay, a first down and 10 now for the Rovers from the 13. And that is Connor Ford trying to get outside on the far side. He will be corralled there, and he will get next to nothing over there and bring up a second down now.
Really good stiff arm from him to not actually lose any yards and at least get back to the line of scrimmage. I like seeing that effort with him at the end of this quarter, too.
Okay, so the clock keeps running. We're at about 10 minutes left here in this football game. 46-7 is our score. Brockway in the lead on this, their homecoming night, 2019. Got a slot to the near side this time. A lot of new numbers in there. Max is Brockway's getting some younger kids playing. Connor Ford is back at the quarterback position. Rickman is behind him, and Rickman will get the carry over the near side here. Strong runner is inside the, well, it's just about the 5-yard line, so I think Rickman's going to be spotted right at the 5-yard line.
And he's actually I think he's a junior too. So
yes.
So it's good to see some of those upperclassmen too getting into the game as well. I think one of the other new faces that I saw is I think number 42. I think that's Evan Barnett as well. He's one of the wide receivers on the team. He's on the far side of the field right now, actually.
Okay, 3rd and 2 now. Ball resting right, I think, on the 5-yard line. So let's see what Brockway will do as they lead this one 46-7 on a running clock. Rickman is in there as the tailback. Connor Ford is shotgun formation. Hand off to Rickman again as he goes off that right side, and he will be tackled somewhere inside the 5-yard line. They're going to mark it.
I think he's really close to the first down marker too, but we'll just see where I think they might have spotted him short here.
Okay, so 8:40 now at a running clock as we're in the mercy rule right now for Brockway. 46-7 our score. Brockway looking to add to that total as they are deep in the red zone now of the Owls. Connor Ford is back at the quarterback position. John Wood is, I think he's done for the night. And,
yeah, it's safe to. I would say it's safe to assume that.
He's had a rather productive night.
I think that's an understatement.
Okay, Connor Ford with Rickman, and Connor Ford is going to keep it, and he will score. Ball from the 4-yard line. Connor Ford will score with 8:05 remaining in this football game. Connor Ford will score to make it 52-7 now in favor of Brockway.
Second touchdown of the day for Connor Ford. Good job doing a read option, letting the defensive end stick to the outside, and he chose to keep the ball and go right up the middle for that touchdown. I think that's one of the better things he did when he was the quarterback, is using that read option to run right up the field.
Yes, I think that is his game, as Lewis Painter is now in for the extra point to make it 53 at the 8:04 mark in this football game. Snap is down. Nope, they're going to run it again. That's Connor Ford, and looking for a block from Painter. He's not used to blocking, and Ford is going to get in, and he will score for the 2-point conversion.
I think there was a penalty on the field, though, for 12 men for Brockway, though. I think someone was trying to get off the field, but he ended up staying up on the field, so I think they're going to get called for 12 men on the field.
Well, that's Brockway's secret play, have another blocker out there. But one thing, watching Lewis Painter as a soccer player, okay, he doesn't practice blocking anybody.
Yeah, and he was actually out there leading the charge.
He was out there in front. It was kind of like, what do I do now? But he did get in the way out there, and Connor Ford was able to score the 2-point conversion. So perhaps they'll kick it this time, as the penalty will move them back, and they'll have another opportunity with 8:04 remaining here in this football game.
Yeah, the big thing here is just making sure Nuzzo doesn't get around that line to block the ball.
Hopefully they figure that out, and put somebody on him over there, but he's pretty quick.
I think that's why they keep trying to do the fake now, to try to eliminate that block.
Yeah, trying to pad the score by
no.
means. So it's not a bad play for them to practice, though, for at a time when they might, Of course, you can pass off that particular play as well.
Yeah.
You can release that tight end and have him go out there. So there are other things you can do. Okay, so it's going to be a long extra point because it's going to be hit right at the 25-yard line. So it's a 35-yard extra point.
I told him to make a 40-yarder tonight. So, I mean, if he makes this one, I think that'll just have to do for me tonight.
Yeah, he has a leg that can do it. There's no doubt if he gets a good put down. And our man was in there again, though. Number 3 was in there.
And I think there's a flag, too.
Yeah, he knocked down the kicker, so we're spending a lot of time
going
here.
back and forth.
Yeah, we're spending a lot of time here. So there's going to be a penalty. This time it's going to go, I believe, against the Owls, unless they call it no good and they tack 15 yards on the kickoff here. So we'll wait and see what they're going to do. Okay, let's see, official, yep, hitting the kicker, and it's against the Owls. And so we'll probably play this thing all over again from a different position. So we're going to be end up maybe pretty close to where we were in the first place. I don't know. Let's see where they mark it. The ball is in the hands of one of the officials. He's not okay. Now he's marking in the right place. So ball is going to be marked just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line. And we're going to try this all over again from the 11-yard line.
Hopefully third time's the charm, right?
Yeah, let's see if they can keep number 3 from making his way into the backfield this time.
I feel like that should be the first person that you look at, even though they kind of have that side lined up at.
Well, they're going to finally get the ball in the right place here, I think. Made a little adjustment. Okay, yeah, it's usually from the inside out you're blocking. But when you've got somebody that fast, then you've got to move somebody over maybe. But let's see what happens. The power definitely is on the near side for the defense. And here he comes again.
And this time it's up.
This time it is good, and just makes it over to make it 53 now to 7. It took forever. It took about 5 minutes to get that 1 point. So we're at 8:04, and so we will be back with the Brockway kickoff right after these messages. You're listening to Sunny 106, your home for Rover football.
So pondless water features and pondless waterfalls are something that is coming very, very popular for homeowners.
Still slightly
also,
breaking up so far.
And also riverbeds and waterfalls that incorporate many things like outdoor lighting, your landscape lighting, and kind of tie everything together.
Weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly maintenance available. Call 594-6424
We'll just see, I guess. I know part of it, it's hard to even hear what you guys are saying.
Hi, this is Mike at DeLulo Transport. Due to our continued growth, DeLulo Transport has immediate openings for multiple positions, including non-CDL
Not really, just
package
because
delivery
it's
drivers,
breaking up so
driver
badly.
helpers, owner-operators, and diesel mechanics. DeLulo Transport is a local family-owned business dedicated to our area and to providing reliable, dedicated transportation to our customers. We were named 2018 Small Business of the Year and voted best.
We have no way of telling what it's like from your end of things, but we'll do the best we can as we're down to about 7:45 in this game. Mercy rule in effect, so it should go pretty rapidly. We're at about 20 minutes to 10.
Yeah, you might not be missing too much, maybe a couple scores here and there, but yeah, I think if you've been listening to us the whole time, you've really heard the whole bulk of the game, the whole excitement part of it as well.
Yes, everybody is still pretty much in their seats here. Not a whole lot of people leaving, as they, I think, at least for the Brockway side, they're happy to see Brockway doing so well finally in this season, and a lot of kids getting a chance to play and score extremely favorable for them. Next week, remember, we are traveling to Montauk to bring you that game. Montauk not having a great season either, but there are a lot of games here toward this part of the season, Max, that Brockway really are, they're capable of winning those games.
Yeah, and I think next week is one of those prime examples for them, but I really think that this game might be one of not a breaking point, but I can't think of the correct word, but the point in their season that helps boost them to the next level. So like if they face a team that's a little bit tougher than Bradford, they'll be able to step up to that challenge and provide more of a competition-based sport rather than what they did at the beginning of the year.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt that this is a confidence game for the Rovers, and I think a lot of these young kids are getting, I think they're growing up a little bit tonight, and so this is a good game for them to have right here at this particular point in the season, as the Owls are ready to kick off from our right to our left, from the crick to the park, as we like to say. The only place we can say that is right here at Brockway.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so ready for the kickoff. Back peak for the Rovers. You can't see their numbers. Ford is back there. And
that was a beautiful onside kick.
Nice job there by the Owls, and that's two that they've been able to capture here tonight, which is rare, even to see one, really.
Yeah, even though Nuzzo might be not having a good as a day as he'd like, he's doing a good job on special teams with at least 3 blocked PATs, and I think he recovered that onside kick. It was really good. He kicked it and just ran right alongside the ball, which is something that some kickers like to do because then they can shield the ball and then just fall right back down on it.
Well, all these teams are going to have some good athletes. The trouble is they're not going to have enough of them.
Yeah.
And that's a problem sometimes for the kid that's really a good athlete. Okay, so we've got motion. There's a handoff, and that is going, I think, to go to our friend Son Frank, and he will pick up nice yardage on a first down carry there. And down and about 3 for the Owls.
Yeah, we haven't seen Gonzalez in a while. I'm wondering if they're just resting him up or if he's hurt.
Well, he didn't look hurt. I mean, he really looked good in this game, and that's really a bright side, I think, for this team. And years to come, they're going to have that big back there. And, they're not a big team. You mentioned that before, that even at the line of scrimmage, they're not large kids. But they do a pretty good job, and so they're at a second down now and about 3. 53-13 is our score. 6 Bendis and 49 seconds on a running clock here, and that pass is no good. Out of bounds there about the 35-yard line. And the clock continues to run. It normally would not, but it's a third down now for the Owls.
Yeah, big stop here for the Rovers on third down and 4. Let's see if they can hold the Owls to anything, but I'm pretty sure even if they stop them here, the Owls go for it on 4th down.
Yes, again, we say why not, right?
Yeah, exactly, with the score the way it is.
Yep, why not? Okay, so the Owls come out third down now for them, third down and about 3. As we're getting down now pretty close to the 6-minute mark left in this game. Double wing formation, double slot or double wing split formation as well, and that play looked like a disaster from the beginning. Ball's on the ground, and it's going to go picked up there by the Rovers. That is number 15, and number 15 is Maurer, and he is a sophomore, and nice sized kid too, 6'1", 195. And it's going to be another turnover. That's the 3rd turnover of the night for the Owls, and the Brockway will have it at the 45-yard line if everything holds. But that play, I don't know what that was supposed to be.
Neither. I'm assuming it's kind of like an option play, and if it was, that option play hasn't been working too well for Bradford tonight. And
it looked to me like their split end on this side was offside. It looked like he left too early, but that was not called. And so the ball is going to Brockway at the 45-yard line of the Owls. And so they will have another opportunity here with 5:55. Clock is stopped right now, but it will start here shortly. And they lead by a score of 53-13.
Hopefully Brockway now can just run off as much clock as they can. If they keep running it shouldn't take too much time to take the clock all the way down to 0.
Yeah, I don't know about you. I'm getting hungry.
Oh.
Okay, first down now. Connor Ford is the quarterback, hands off to Rickman, and he's got room over that left side. He's got good speed, and he is down just inside the 35-yard line to about the, let's see what they're going to mark it, about the 34-yard line, I think. So about 34-yard line, another advanced disposal, first down. And we've had a lot of those, but not as many maybe, because John Wood has taken the ball and run it for 80 yards for a touchdown and 60 yards and so forth. So first down now for Brockway. I don't think we'll see any passes in this game unless they want to see how the young group does in the passing game. But I think they're going to keep it on the ground. They've got Stewart in there. He's only a freshman. He's out there in the slot formation, far side. Split to the near side. Got a tight end in the game right now. Hand off, and that is going to be to Rickman again, and he's going to pull away from a tackler, and he's inside the 25-yard line, still on his feet inside the 20.
Took a big hit there.
Down there to about the 16, 17 yard, let's call it 16-yard line. So another advanced disposal, first down, and a good job there by young Mr. Rickman.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of good job of just getting some positive yards. That's his at least fourth run tonight of 10+ yards. He's doing a good job of taking any opportunity that he can tonight to make himself look good to the coaches.
Well, Brockway will have their first win of the season tonight to put their record at 1-5 on the year so far. And next week they travel all the way to Montauk. That game will start at 7 o'clock, so we'll be on air about 20 minutes to 7 next Friday night. Okay, Rickman is the tailback. He'll get the handoff straight ahead. He's got some big guys out in front of him, still on his feet inside the 10-yard line to about the 9.
I mean, he has a really high motor. Doesn't matter if one owl hits him or two, he's still going to chug those legs and move forward and get as many yards as he can, especially in the game. I bet you he wants to get his first touchdown of the year here on this drive.
So when he runs into an owl, the feathers fly, do they not? Okay, 3:26 running clock right now. This one is almost history, as Rickman's still in that tailback position. Connor Ford in the shotgun. Split to each side this time. And hand off again to Rickman, but we have a flag on the play. So I think that's going to go against the Rovers this time. The illegal movement there that time, and so they'll be moved back a couple of yards here. But the name of the game is, I don't think we have to think too hard about the player of the game tonight, do we?
No.
Is that pretty? We'd like not to have to give it to the same player all the time or several times in a season, but I don't think there's any way around it tonight.
Yeah, with the way he's performed tonight, I mean, I don't even think we need to say what his name is, and I think everybody at home should know who it is.
Yeah, he had a run of 82 yards for a touchdown. He had a run of 65 yards for a touchdown. And that's just 2 of the touchdowns he's had.
Out of 5, well, technically 6 if you count the passing touchdown too.
Yeah, so quite an impact by one player tonight for the Rovers. And we have a timeout on the field, it looks like. And we do. The Rovers are calling a timeout. This timeout is brought to you by U Water and Holt Drilling of Brockway. If you think they're just another water company, then you are all wet. And with 2:44, we're just going to keep it right here. And we don't know really what to expect next week against Montauk. We have not seen them play, and so it's difficult for us to make any kind of judgment with regard to Montauk. We do know that they're not having a great season this year, and there are certain things that one who knows their phone very well could probably find that information out by simply sitting at home in your easy chair and getting your smartphone out, and you can get a lot of those details, I suppose. But we'll be making that trip next week, which is about, I guess, max about an hour and a half or so, perhaps.
Yeah, I think it's somewhere around there. I've been looking it up all week to see exactly how far it is.
So we're going to punch it into the GPS so we make sure we get there at the right time, and hopefully everything will be working well next week. Again, we don't know what the interference was this week, but sometimes with technology, especially wireless technology, those kinds of things are going to happen. So
Yeah, and we hope that even by the end of this game, too, we can get a couple things fixed so you can also hear our post-game commentary as well.
Okay, Connor Ford with a hand off to Rickman across the left side, and he's going to be hit there, but still drags a few tacklers with him. And so that's going to bring up a third down now for the Rovers, and we are at a running clock. We are under 2:30 now left in this game on this a homecoming night for the Brockway Rovers, and a good night to celebrate for them for the homecoming.
Yeah, it's big for Brockway to get this one on homecoming. I think pretty much every year Brockway always wins on homecoming, so it's good to keep that tradition going alive as well.
I always want to win on your homecoming night. Okay, third down at about 4, and Connor Ford will keep it, hiding behind the big bodies there, but he's going to be tackled for a little or no gain, and that will bring up a fourth down. And let's see if they might try a field goal. They might give their kicker an opportunity here. Let's wait and see what they're going to do on this fourth down. Ball's on the 14-yard line. 4 yards to go for the line of gain, and I think they're going to keep that offensive team on the field right now.
Yeah, because I'm thinking what they really want to do is just try to get the first down and just put this game out of hand already.
Yeah, they certainly don't need any extra points on the board.
No,
that's for certain. Okay, so Connor Ford back there. Next to him on his left side is Rickman in motion. Jet motion, and that goes to Rickman. He's going to try to get it off this near side. He'll be tackled there at about 15-yard line. They get it inside the 15 to about the 14. So the Owls will take over with 1:10 remaining on a stop clock right now. And so this could be the last series of the game right now, given a touchdown or given a fumble on the play or whatever it may be. So we'll wait and see what happens. Just want to remind you that at the end of this one, we'll have the JohnsonAuto.com player of the game. We kind of give you a hint about that. We'll also have the play of the game, and that might be a little more difficult to come up with that because there are a lot of great plays of the game as well. But we'll bring those to you here in just a moment. Okay, so a first down and 10 from the 14-yard line. The Owls moving from our right to our left. Motion and handoff there to number 32, and we'll have to check and see because we've got new players in the game. That is Griffin, and he is a sophomore, about 169 pounds. Damon Griffin with the carry across the 25-yard line to about the 26-yard line, and that'll be another advanced disposal first down.
I always like to see some of those young kids come in at the end of the game and try to prove what their worth is really.
Yeah, and it's great for them too. They're excited about it, I know. Okay, and that handoff goes about nowhere as we're down now to about 35 on the running clock left in this one. And I don't think the Owls are about to stop the picture, as they really don't have to run another play if they don't want to, and they may not. So we'll just kind of wait and see. 53-13 is our score. And it may be, and I think it will be, the last score that we will find in this football game as the Owls will run another play. Handoff again to Griffin. He'll be hit right at the 25-yard line.
Really good tackle to and finish it off here. Good strong finish.
Okay, and we're down to 1, and we're down to none, and that is the end of this 2019 homecoming game from Brockway. And the Brockway Rovers will win it by a score of 53-13. And we'll be back with our player of the game and play of the game right after these messages. You're listening to Sunny 106, your home for Rover